Alan, tell us a little bit about how technology has impacted your job as a cinematographer and how that impact has changed as technology has changed.
Right. I think over the years, everybody who works in cinematography has gotten the experience of having film that they've shot converted to television or video images, and it's continuing. I mean, I can recall as early as 1966 taking some Kodachrome film of a radio station promotion that ran on a TV dance party show that they had. That I went in with the film to the television station, and it was Kodachrome, and it was all these kids having wonderful fun at a luau type party. And I said to the guy at the controls of the film unit, I said, if you just took a little bit of blue out of the shadows, and he looked like concerned. I said, you see, under the plexiglass panel there's a knob that says blue pedestal, and if you just turn that down just a hair, everything will look so much better and warmer. And he said, we're not supposed to lift the plexiglass panel. I said, look, you'll really like it if you try it. So it took about 20 minutes of persuasion, but finally he opened it up and just tweaked it a little, which is all it needed. And suddenly these girls were cutting up pineapples and smiling, and it was the purpose of the footage. And that's when I learned, well, you're going to have to communicate from the field of cinematographer to the world of the video control engineer, are also having our eyes just opened up to this wonderful medium called digital intermediate. And this is something we do for feature films, where literally we in the case of the film that I worked on, we shot entirely on film, and we completed it as you would a regular picture, but instead of going into the lab to do the answer print for the color corrections, we went into a place that let us do digital intermediate. That is, they scanned the negative of the picture into digital, and then the digital image was projected on a large screen, as large as a movie screen. And all of the correction we could do, in addition to brightness and color, we could adjust contrast and texture and certain things that we could do, certain areas of the picture that we could make a little different from the rest of the image. And we could bring all of these video techniques that we had learned in the past into a motion picture that was going to be released, as it was in this case, both on digital for I think 63 theaters, and the rest was all on film. So it literally started on film, went into a digital intermediate, all of the corrections done, and then back out to film again.
So what do you say to cinematographers who still resist the idea of a digital intermediate?
Well, I think that there are some films that can be completed just fine in the traditional fashion. In other words, going into a lab and making an answer print and correcting that print, and then getting through the stages all in the photochemical world. And it can work just very, very well. But I think certain kinds of films, particularly films that have a lot of visual effects, it's a real blessing to have the digital intermediate, because sometimes you are combining visual effects from different companies. I think on Van Helsing we had 6 different companies making the special effects, even though ILM was the principal one. Mm-hmm. And when it gets down to the very end, when all the things are arriving at once, the fact that you can make these little adjustments to help marry one visual effect to another is a really great asset to have. And I think that everyone should learn to use the process, and that there will be times when you're very, very happy to have it, even though it may not seem to be a digital intermediate picture to start. But I think we will learn all of these different techniques. New technologies are going to happen all the time. The only constant will be change. And we better be used to the idea that we're going to learn new things every day. So
Alan, where is this digital technology going to take us? What path are we going down with digital technology?
Well, I think we'll see digital technology improve in many, many ways. Right now we've already seen at least two big features in release that were shot on digital cameras, and we'll see more. I think there's, probably 6 about to come out. And I think everybody will then evaluate whether it was an advantage or not. And the fact that, as I said, the archival question mark about digital needs to be, that needs to be answered, because it's something when you make an investment in a project and you want to be able to see it again many, many years later. But I think that we'll see digital continue to improve. We'll probably see film continue to improve. And we'll have reasons for using each. Each circumstance will be different. And I would not be surprised at all to see the two mixed inside of one production.